All right, thanks for joining us, Crimespree Nation. We're at Murder and Mayhem in Milwaukee, talking with the writing team of Michael Sears and Stanley Trollip, better known as Michael Stanley, author of the award-winning Detective Kubu series. Today we're talking about hippopotamus art and witch doctors. Let's see what they have to say. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us, Michael and Stanley.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. You're both retired professors that have lived in Botswana and love exploring Africa. On one of your trips to Botswana, you brewed the idea to pen a novel which turned into the Detective Kubu series. What specifically about Africa drew you to include it as the manuscript's backdrop? Michael, let's start with you. What do you think?
Well, I think we're both from Africa. We're both born in South Africa. I've lived in Africa for most of my life, except for some period that I was in Australia and visited the US as well. So Africa's natural to us. The real issue for us probably is why Botswana rather than South Africa, which we know much better. But our first book required us to have an area where you could get out into the wildlife areas and dump a body to be eaten by hyenas. That was the premise for the first book. And you can't do that in South Africa. It's too organized. We had to go to Botswana where it's a bit less organized on the wildlife side of things.
Okay, interesting. The Detective Kubu series is entirely unique. Entertainment Weekly called Detective Kubu the African Columbo. Fans call him absolutely intriguing. Which feature of the newly released installment, A Death in the Family, do you think is most distinctive, Stanley?
Well, all our books have a contemporary issue as the backdrop, the backstory. The first one, A Carrion Death, was Blood Diamonds. The second one was the aftermath of the Rhodesian Civil War. The third was the plight of the Bushmen in southern Africa. The fourth was Muti Murders, which is the use of body parts in magic potions. The fifth book, A Death in the Family, that just came out a few weeks ago, the backstory is the presence of the Chinese in Africa. And throughout Africa, there are now millions of Chinese having shops in little towns, doing massive projects, and all of that, in many ways, is in return for access to Africa's incredible mineral resources.
Interesting, thank you. Most fans know that your detective's nickname, Kubu, means hippopotamus in the African language Setswana. What about the hippo-inspired Kubu's name for either of you? Who wants to answer that?
Well, the thing about the hippo is that it's of course a very large animal, and actually a very dangerous animal. We often say that in Africa, after the human and the mosquito, the hippo is the most dangerous animal. It accounts for more human deaths than say lions or elephants or crocodiles even. The hippo can be very dangerous, can be very focused if you're between the hippo and the water, for example. And our detective is a bit like that too. Once he's focused on a case, then he really concentrates on it until he gets there. But of course he has the physical attributes as well. He's a really big guy, XXXL, and he loves his food, and he likes to have the odd glass of wine with it. So he's that sort of physical and psychological profile, if you like, that's made people give him this nickname of hippo at school, and it's stuck, and now he actually likes it. That's what he answers to, nothing else.
I've never heard of a hippo having a heart attack, but we do get emails from some of our readers asking us to be more careful with what he eats, because they don't want to lose him.
No, you wouldn't want to lose the detective, definitely not. Your website has a section called Interesting Links, and when you click on it, you can see a hippo art gallery complete with photos and drawings of hippos, which I thought the drawings were really nice, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, they're lovely.
And is that the most clicked link on your website? What do readers like to click on your website? What's your favorite feature?
Well, probably after the book that is either just come out or coming out. I think that is, well, there are two. There's that one, and there is a link to a blog called Murder is Everywhere, that both of us are participants, and 10 writers who set their books around the world participate in the Murder is Everywhere, and that link too is frequently accessed.
And last question, one of your novels features a witch doctor who murders people, then uses their body parts to concoct potions. It's a great plot. At Murder and Mayhem in Milwaukee, who's the witch doctor and what kind of spell did they cast today?
Well, I think we're going to plumb for John Jordan as the witch doctor.
Of course, John Jordan.
Because he's sort of magically created this whole thing with a lot of help, of course, from people.
Right.
And also yesterday at his place, as you wandered around, you were pretty sure that somewhere in there you'd be able to find any of the ingredients for any magic potion and the appropriate book to put it all together.
That's right.
So it's got to be John.
And you only have to look at the audience and you can see they're all under the spell too.
I totally agree. It's a great audience and great writers here today. Thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to talk to Crimespree.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are you make everything so easy.